Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, is traditionally Republican Arizona turning blue? We'll hear from state party leaders. Also tonight, the Phoenix Police Department is reaching out to the community for future officers, and we'll find out about the Great American Seed Out. Those stories next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. Arizona PBS announced a new kids channel today. National PBS executives were on hand for the announcement of Arizona Kids PBS, which will begin broadcasting educational kids programming 24/7 on Channel 8.4 starting in January. PBS Director of Children's Programming Keith Kennebec explains the need for this kind of programming.
We know from our data that 40% of our viewing, of PBS Kids viewing currently, is coming from so-called broadcast-only homes. These are homes that can't afford cable, that can't afford satellite, that only have access to broadcast TV. And these homes are low-income homes and then are often in at-risk communities. So being able to serve them with educational PBS Kids content is really, really critical.
Again, the free Educational Kids channel starts in January on Arizona PBS Channel 8.4. A new poll was released yesterday, shows that the presidential race in Arizona between Republican Donald Trump and Democrat Hillary Clinton is statistically tied. The Monmouth poll shows 46% going for Trump, 45% planning to vote for Clinton, well within the margin of error. Last week, an Arizona Republic Morrison Institute Cronkite News poll showed Clinton 5 points ahead. Is Arizona about to turn from Republican red to Democratic blue? Joining us now is Alexis Tamarron, chair of the Democratic Party in Arizona, and Robert Graham, chair of the state Republican Party. Good to have you both here. Thanks for joining us. All right, Alexis, is Arizona on the verge of turning blue?
I would think so. Yeah, I think all the polls are indicating that it is a tight race. It's going to come down to getting out the vote for both of our parties. So I feel really good based upon where we're at, the people on the ground. We have 32 offices across the state, about 160, a little over 160 staff. So I feel really good heading into the last couple of weeks.
Do you think that the state is turning blue in the presidential race only?
I think that we're going to change some seats at the state legislature. I think that we have a really great shot at Corporation Commission. I think it is open across the board. I think that, again, depending upon turnout, we have a shot at also earning a U.S. Senate seat.
Your ideas? We going from red to blue here?
I would say no, obviously. I'm biased, of course, and I think we're going to stay red. And but really, when you consider what Alexis said about turnout, that is the magic quotient right now, where we're all working hard to try to turn out our people. And one of the great advantages we have in the state as Republicans is we've got 160,000 plus registration advantage in the state of Arizona. So when you layer on the field operations, the calls, and all the doors that are people knocking, plus all the enthusiasm behind the volunteer base. We have over 12,000 volunteers right now in the state of Arizona. When you do layer all that on top of the voter registration advantage, it's a difficult barrier for other people to cross. I mean, for the Democrats to cross, in a sense.
As far as the presidential race, though, the Donald Trump candidacy is controversial. No one can deny that. And usually in Arizona, we don't see this neck-and-neck kind of a race. What do you make of that, and how is Trump affecting all things voting this election?
Yeah, I think he is clearly a disruptive, non-traditional candidate. And in many ways, that is a blessing in disguise. We've seen an unusual wave of people that have come to the party. I mean, you look at our voter registration. Last year, we did a big registration drive. This year, we haven't had to do that because it's been this organic push up. As far as his effect and impact on other candidates, I mean, Senator McCain is doing fantastic. He's way up in the polls. And then we're seeing with down ticket opportunities that we're not seeing that he's hurting us by any means. But as far as one thing about Arizona that's clear is they vote for the candidates they like. So if it's neck and neck, then this is the challenge that we have is on the presidential level, nowhere else in the state.
The Trump factor, is it more than just the president? I kind of asked you this before, but again, I mean, are we just talking a one-time only presidential campaign with a guy who's just very controversial?
I don't think so. I think it's the beginning of a trend. What we had hoped for at the beginning of this election cycle was to build for the future, play the long game, if you will. So we've been targeting 2020, 22 as kind of where we think the nexus in terms of our demographic shifts are really going to kind of hit its nexus point. I do think that Donald Trump has helped us kind of jump ahead of our own timeline. but also it's just a trend. It's a start of a trend that would have happened regardless, I believe, in the state of Arizona.
Robert mentioned the 166,000 more registered Republican voters than Democratic voters. How do you get past that?
Well, we've put a lot of effort in our field operations this year. We've registered, I think, the last couple of quarters, more Democrats than registered Republicans. So our upward trend is there, and it's basically making sure in Arizona we fight for every vote that we will get, and we win on the margins. And I think the closer that we get every year, which we have, coupled that with the growing Latino vote, which we have to go out and earn, and make sure that moving forward, we have a bright future, and it's a bright blue future for the state of Arizona.
That growing Latino vote, the millennial vote, most pundits say Republicans not doing the best of jobs in getting those folks and keeping those folks. You say...
Yeah, in Arizona, we've actually, so I've been chairman almost 4 years, and this has been one of the centerpieces of our efforts since I've been chairman, is to be inclusive, engage communities, but not just go and say, here we are, Republicans, vote for us. We've been a part of their community with community events, community service projects. We've met with leaders. We've seen a lot of minority leadership changing party registration, like Senator Carlisle Begay is a perfect example of a Democrat Senate legislature that switched to party. We've seen within the Navajo community do that. We've seen Hispanic leaders, and what they're telling us consistently is that we're actually showing up in the communities, where in many cases in time past, the Democrats have taken the Hispanic community, for an example, for granted, in the sense that they count on their vote, they believe in their vote. Republicans believe that Democrats are going to take their vote, so they haven't been investing. But the last 4 years, we've made a very concerted effort, and it hasn't been starting now for the future. It's something that we started 4 years ago to invest in the future, and we understand it takes time.
How do you get past, though, the statements Trump has made regarding Mexicans and immigrants, the continued presence of Joe Arpaio, now indicted? I mean, how do you get past that with voters?
Well, I think it's what we try to teach people and what we try to encourage people in any election, whether it's school board or if it's a president of the United States, that these elections are bigger than one person. So when we start coming in as a Republican Party to a community, it's great because we're not a candidate asking for a vote. We're in there investing in the community. What people look for is trust, and they look for authenticity. So when we have real people serving in these communities, that's the relationship that we're getting back from the various communities.
The idea that Latino vote especially will be coalescing and growing and moving toward the Democrats. At the same time, Arizona attracts a lot of retirees, a lot of them from the Midwest, conservative areas. That is always a factor, especially in certain parts of Maricopa County. I mean, does this balance out and Arizona remain red?
Well, I think the question also is, where is the Republican Party trending? And that has a lot to do with Donald Trump and statements he's made. We've also had Republicans switch parties in Arizona. Bill Mundell is a classic example, who was a corporation commissioner, Republican, now running for corporation commission as a Democrat. And I think the perception of where the Republican Party is headed and whether it's moving away from more traditional conservatives is a big question that needs to be answered as well. And what we're doing is trying to ensure that we go out and talk to voters. And the Latino community is no different. They're not a monolithic community. You have to go out and say what the differences are and why you deserve their vote. So I think there's kind of a lot of different factors at play, and I think we're seeing it a lot earlier in Arizona than when we would have seen maybe in a more traditional year, I guess, because it's been non-traditional up to this point. But I feel really good as the chair of the party now, where we're headed for the future, and it's going to be a bright blue future for Arizona. So
real quickly, last question for both of you. You expecting any surprises on election night?
I think so in terms of turnout. I think that turnout in particular within the Latino community and our Native American communities are going to be higher than what we would have expected, simply because of Donald Trump and some of the things he's said.
Any surprises, do you think?
I think no. I think it's not going to surprise people when we maintain a Republican majority and we win their elections from the top to the bottom. I think it last cycle we trended strong, and there was a promise that things were going to go bluer, and they didn't. And we're going to maintain that trend going forward.
Good to have you both here. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
inside scoop on what's happening at Arizona PBS. Become an insider. You'll receive weekly updates on the most anticipated upcoming programs and events. Get the Insider delivered to your email inbox. Visit azpbs.org to sign up today.
Phoenix police are looking to recruit officers with an emphasis on community-based policing. The idea is to find candidates from certain communities that can go back to those communities in a law enforcement capacity. Also, efforts have been stepped up to recruit more firefighters. Here to tell us more about police recruitment is Christopher McLeod, a recruiting officer for the City of Phoenix Police Department. And with more on recruitment for the fire department, Timothy Gamage, Senior Division Chief for the Phoenix Fire Department. Good to have you both here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Community effort, trying to talk to us about this. It sounds as though there is a concerted effort here to find folks and get them back into their communities.
Yes, that's correct. What we're actually doing now, we're actually going out into the communities. We're actually reaching out to different advisory boards, letting them know that, hey, we're hiring. Any events that you have a large venue, we can talk to people and tell them about the opportunities that the Phoenix Police Department has. We're going out there. We're going to colleges, universities, high schools.
How does that change from past recruitments?
I don't think it's changed. I think we're just more active. We see the need. We haven't hired since 2009. So 2015 is when we actually started hiring again. So there was a long gap where we weren't able to hire.
As far as requirements are concerned, have those changed at all? Or the pool of candidates you're looking at, are you looking a little differently or focusing on different things?
No, we've kept our standards pretty strong, pretty the same. 20 and a half to start the process, just as long as they're 21 by the time they graduate. High school diploma, GED, a U.S. citizen, and just a good citizen.
As far as fire department is concerned, who are you looking for?
We're just looking for good athletic people, good motivated, self-motivated, highly disciplined individuals.
As far as previous recruitments, have things changed a little bit? Are you looking for more in the way of education, more in the way of this, that, and the other? What are you seeing out there?
Well, there's a lot of technology in today's world, and we're also looking for people that can operate those technological pieces in our department.
How long has it been since you guys have hired?
We've been hiring the last couple of years.
Okay, so you've had an easier time of it than the police department as far as hiring is concerned.
We get a lot of people to turn out for our testing processes. So we've been hiring heavily probably since 2013.
That testing process, how long does that take?
It's a long process. It's about a year to get a job through our testing process.
And what's involved?
You have to take a written test, a physical agility through the community colleges, and then there's a 2 oral board panel that you have to go through.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so you got to sit in front of folks and present yourself.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
What goes on with Phoenix PD as far as what needs to be? I know there's a written test, there's a physical test, correct?
Yes, sir.
And how do those work?
First you have to do is you apply online. Once you apply online, you're invited to the written test. Once you're successful there, you're invited to the physical agility, which is a 1.5-mile run, sit-ups, push-ups, and scaling a 6-foot wall. Once you're successful there, you're going to be given the background packet, and that's what starts the process as far as your background checks and things like that.
Did I read 35% fail that first physical test on the first try?
It's probably about closer to 25%.
Okay. But can they try again?
Yes. You have three attempts within a year. If you don't make the first attempt, Phoenix is unique. We're offering a physical agility class for those that pass the written test, where we actually practice with them in running, scaling the wall, sit-ups, and push-ups.
Considering the tension between police departments around the country and communities around the country, not necessarily here in Phoenix as well, but in other parts of the area we see it, even a country we see even more, some places we don't see it at all, but it's there. How is that impacting recruitment?
It really hasn't impacted in recruitment. Being a police officer is a calling. Some people, well, I believe that once you make that decision to become a police officer, you understand the risk. You understand that there are some risk factors in becoming a police officer, and your whole motive in doing it is because you love your community. You love being out there. You love talking to people. You love catching the bad guys.
But that's why community policing is so important, I should say, because the enforcement happens within the community that maybe some of these guys come from.
Yes.
That's got to help.
Yes, sir.
As far as firefighting is concerned, do you look for folks in certain communities to go back to those communities, or is that not something that's emphasized?
It is emphasized. That's our best recruitment. Our members going back into the communities that they came from and recruit individuals that would be good firefighters. This is a great career, but it's a hard career. So we need individuals that can last a long period of time doing the type of work that we do.
How do you convince someone who's maybe kind of interested in this that, you know, this is something, you'll risk your life. There's a possibility that you could risk your life here for pay that may not be up to what other people think is, you know, huge. How do you convince someone of that?
Well, I agree that it's a calling. You know, once you get the bug, once you come and ride along with us, once you see what we do, how we help people, you see the best and the worst of humanity, and once you know that you can do that type of thing, then we don't have to recruit. You want to do it.
Have you seen a different, I know the police departments have had their problems around the country. Have you seen that with fire departments?
Everybody loves a firefighter.
Yeah, it's, you got the spotted dog and the whole 9 yards, huh?
And we're lucky enough to have one of the best fire departments in the nation, along with PD, and we have a good partnership with our PD partners in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, but I mean, so that kind of tension isn't necessarily transferred over to the fire department?
Not necessarily transferred over to our fire department.
As far as the police department is concerned, how do you approach that tension? It's out there. There's just no doubt about it. And for those who haven't experienced it personally, you read about it, you hear about it. What do you tell recruits? What are you looking for in recruits?
We tell them to be open, transparent, honest. When you're dealing with an individual, let them know why you're contacting them, what's going on, this is what's happening, this is why I'm arresting you. Having that communication line open helps out a lot.
And again, has that kind of, I don't know, instruction changed over the years?
We've always been ahead of the game. We have this de-escalation training that we received. And it's going nationwide. What it is when we contact an individual, we're looking to de-escalate the high tension that is there. So we talk to them. Communication is very important in this job, and that's what we're stressing is the communication. For
someone watching right now thinking, I could be interested in this line of work, where do they go?
www.phoenix.gov/police.
www.phoenix.gov/police.
Yes.
And if they're thinking, I want to get the bug, where do they go?
And the same, www.phoenix.gov/fire.
So basically, .gov/police, .gov/fire.
Correct.
Good to have you both here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Tonight's edition of Arizona Sustainability looks at the Great American Seed Up, an effort to get locally produced seeds in the hands of local gardeners and food producers. The goal is to improve the integrity of our food and seed systems. Joining us now is Greg Peterson. He's a co-founder of the Great American Seed Up. He's brought some friends along there with you.
I love that you call them friends.
Yes, I'm sure you do. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, absolutely.
Well, give me a better definition of the Great Seed Up. What is this?
The Great American Seed Up. So I was on vacation with my friends Bill and Bell here a couple of years ago, and we pondered, what if we could build a local, more secure seed economy? Because if we're going to have local food, you got to have local seeds. And one of the ways that we did it was we dreamed up this idea called the Great American Seed Up, where we purchased 70 different varieties of seeds, and we put them in a big room, each in an individual bucket, so that people could go in and scoop up however many ounces that they wanted to.
So, but we're talking about the integrity of seeds and making sure they're locally produced and locally this, that, and the other. Why? Is there a problem? Should we be worried about the seeds we were?
Well, the big challenge is we have a tenuous food system. You know, we have a food system that basically keeps a 3-day supply of food on the grocery shelves. And it's because it's a beautiful system and that's the way that it's set up. So if we're looking at our local systems, the tenuous part is if something were to happen, and I'm not talking the end of the world stuff here, but you know, we're a power outage or a storm or something like that, there's not enough food here for us. And in order to grow food, we have to have seeds. So the tenuous part is that we simply don't have enough seeds in the Phoenix metropolitan area to grow out the food that we need.
And so you're talking about collecting seeds, you're talking about saving. You got some seeds right here. These are local seeds here?
Beans. They're not. And
These
again,
are not local.
They're not local because we have so many seeds that we have to stock everybody up with. We start by bringing them in. And on the day of the Great American Seed Up, this Saturday, we actually give classes on how to save your own seeds, how to store your seeds, because you actually store seeds in a freezer, and how to start your own seeds. And then we encourage people to take these seeds, take them home, plant them, grow them out, make them, you know, have them go to flower, save the seeds for next time.
How do you know a seed is worth preserving? I mean, are there seeds that should be tossed out and seeds that should be saved, or seeds that should be collected and seeds that should be just...
Good question. I don't know that I would make a judgment on that. As far as I'm concerned, if you can eat it, it's a cool seed to save.
Okay, and preserved in the... There are seed libraries around the state, are there not?
There are. So about 8 years ago, this idea of using our libraries, and they actually use the old library card files, so that... Right,
you pull it out and there's a seed?
And there's packets of seeds. Isn't that
my
cool?
Yes, I guess, yes.
Yeah, so they're actually using the library system to you know, store seeds and then have them available for people to check out, and then they bring some back.
So if someone wants to check out the Great American Seed Up, they go there, what do they expect? You said there was some instruction, there was a chance to sample, what happens?
Yeah, so we use North Phoenix Baptist Church, their fellowship hall. It's 10,000 square feet. We'll set it up on Friday, and we put the 70 different varieties of seeds in the space, along with signs, and we give business cards on how to grow them. And so people come in the room, and it'll be wonderful mayhem. There'll be, you know, hundreds of people there. They go in the room and it's almost like Christmas.
Yes.
And they go in and they scoop up Anasazi beans. And then they pull a card, a business card that says, here's what you do with them. And here, you stick it in the bag. And then they mark it down on their list. Okay, I got 1 scoop of Anasazi beans, by the way, which is $1.25.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the other thing about the Great American Seed Up is we make the seeds very inexpensive on purpose. Because our goal really is to create 10,000 freezers out there with people storing and growing out seeds.
Of seeds that haven't been corrupted.
There you go.
All right, so again, North Phoenix Baptist Church, when is this going to happen again?
It's this Saturday. We have tickets available for Saturday afternoon, and you go to greatamericanseedup.com to get your tickets.
Greatamericanseedup.com.
Yep.
All right, well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing in the seeds.
Oh my
today.
gosh, absolutely.
Good
My
gracious.
friends.
They don't even look real.
I know, isn't it cool?
All right, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Tonight's edition of Arizona Giving and Leading looks at how for more than 100 years Goodwill Industries has been a leader in the nonprofit world. Goodwill relies on donations of slightly used clothing and other goods, and as producer Shauna Fisher and photographer Rob McJanet show us, every item that's dropped off can help someone in the community get a job.
How you doing today, sir?
Just like the items in this Goodwill store,
Finding everything okay?
Arian Tillman too has a past.
Comes down to us.
The father of 2 moved to Phoenix to be closer to his children.
When I didn't have a job, when I first moved to Phoenix, I was living in my van, scared, stressed, thinking that tomorrow could be my last day. If my van was to break down, or if I don't find work soon, everything I'm working for will fail, and I will not be around my children.
Shortly after arriving in Phoenix, Tillman was anxious to find work.
We never stop learning.
He drove past a Goodwill Career Center.
The Career Center was able to walk me through my past history of work and find out local companies that they know about that would be able to fit my skills. I have been in management before. You're welcome very much. Are you finding everything okay? And they were able to get me into a leadership position relatively quick.
Tillman now oversees several Goodwill stores.
How's it going today?
He has an apartment and his son lives with him.
We see a lot of the drop-off just from people kind of giving up on the search.
Goodwill's Courtney Nelson says the centers are for anyone in the community, and the best part, classes are free.
The Career Centers offer a variety of classes weekly, from job training, resume training, interview skills, interview coaching, even what to wear, even that 30-second elevator pitch that you want to have when you go into an interview to feel confident.
Goodwill partners with thousands of local employers, from those offering entry-level positions to banks and insurance companies.
We're also able to help the employers with the direct hire. If they know that they have 1 or 2 positions available, we can find the people that are in need right then, right there, and then they have the skills that match up, because we're able to do an assessment on every single one of our job seekers.
Goodwill was started in 1902 by Reverend Edgar Helms in Boston. He had his congregation collect gently used items, and then he hired unemployed workers to repair the items, which were then distributed to the needy.
Hello, hello.
Last year alone, Goodwill of Central Arizona says it collected more than 100 million pounds of used items.
Goodwill has a very large impact on the Arizona economy.
Did we get you a tax receipt yet?
It starts with our donors. When they donate to our stores and to our donation centers.
Here you go.
And then those products goes into the store, and the revenue generated.
Hello, how are you today?
Helps to find employment opportunities and work for people right here in their community. Last year alone, that was placing over 42,000 individuals into employment.
Sounds perfect.
And as Tillman walks around the stores, he knows firsthand these items are more than just a shirt or pants. They are an opportunity.
Thank you for shopping at Goodwill.
Thank you again. Thank you. Have a great day.
And Goodwill has 19 career centers in Arizona and more than 75 donation centers. They also offer pickup service. That's it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you.
Virginia G. Piper Charitable Trust, committed to changing lives and strengthening community through investments in nonprofits and strategic initiatives. More information at pipertrust.org.